So let's be honest, the original O11D Mini was already a fan favorite for the compact dual chamber builds. But with the version 2 here, Lian Li didn't just iterate, they refined it in all the right places. It still is a mini case technically, but now it fits full ATX motherboards and full ATX PSUs. It has smarter airflow and comes with a few really clever upgrades. Oh, and it gained only 2 liters of volume in the process, but no worries, it still has a small footprint, it ain't a little fatso. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with a command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. Dimension-wise, you're looking at 423.6mm deep, 273.3mm wide and 399.95mm high. So yeah, it's compact, but don't let the size fool you. The extra 2 liters of internal volume over the version 1 go a long way here. You now get support for ATX PSUs up to 200mm long, ATX motherboards including the back connect models as well, and full 360mm top radiator support including the Hydro Shift models, as you can see from my build. The build quality is, as expected, premium materials all around. You've got 2mm brushed aluminum on the top here, 1mm mesh and 4mm tempered glass panels. The glass panels on the front and on the side, they now ditch the corner pillar entirely here, giving you a seamless panoramic view inside the case. And Lian Li nailed the aesthetics here, especially with the brushed aluminum up top. The front I/O panel is included in the bottom right area. It includes a classic standard power button, 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphone microphone combo jack and a USB-C port. And this position here in the front is mindful of the people that are using this case on the desk, but in case if you want or need the I/O panel here up top, you can just swap it there. The biggest visual change is the new 10% slanted bottom fan tray. Besides looking cool, it actually does something useful. It cools. It angles airflow from the bottom intake directly toward your GPU. So whether you are using the stock fan config or customizing your own layout, this slant here helps to drop GPU temperatures without the need of extra space or sacrificing the looks of the case. This tray also eliminates traditional case feet, so letting the tempered glass panel go all the way down to the bottom for a cleaner, seamless view. It's perfect if you're into the LCD fans or the infinity mirror fans, they will be seen for sure in this layout. There is also a full-length dust filter under these fans, it's pulled from the back side of the case. Other panels come with filters pre-installed on them, so the top panel here has a filter as well, it's a fine mesh, it can't be removed from the panel itself, but it has plenty of space to breathe. Same goes with the rear panel here, perforated metal mesh for the PSU area, and it also protrudes just a little bit so it can accommodate ATX full-sized PSUs here. And the other area for the side intake fans has also a mesh filter that is also not removable. All are easy to clean despite the non-removable options. Despite the small size, this case doesn't skimp on the cooling support. Up top you're looking at 3 120 or 2 140mm fans or 240, 280 or 360mm radiators. The 280 AIOs needs motherboard shifted down one slot, and yeah, it supports that. I will explain this in a second. On the side you can mount 2 120 or 240mm radiator, and on the bottom 3 120mm fans, and at the rear you're looking at 1 120mm fan with ample sliding rails for fan movement up or down. The maximum radiator thickness varies depending on the layout and the board size. So for example, if you are using an ATX board like I did here, you're limited to 72mm up top for the radiator plus fans. So with micro ATX boards in the lower mode, since you can shift the tray, actually only one part where 24-pin cable goes, and then move the standoffs down for the rest of them, that limit jumps to 92mm, which is more than enough for even thicker 360mm radiators. If you opt for the Flow version of this case, you get 5 pre-installed reverse blade PWM fans, 3 in the bottom and 2 on the side, and this is the preferred option to get. I'll have the specs of these fans listed on the screen for you. Just remember that the Flow case is a little bit expensive than the non-fan version. So for a stock fan package, that's impressive. Now for the clearances in the Mini V2, for the GPU clearance you're looking up to 400mm with a cool little GPU anti-sag bracket that can be moved up or down, but also on the sides using only thumb screws. The CPU cooler clearance is limited to 160mm maximum. It now supports full-sized ATX PSUs up to 200mm in length, and still the Lian Li Edge series works the best here for easier cable management. The motherboard support is excellent here. Mini ATX, micro ATX, full-size ATX, and yeah, ATX back connect as well, with that motherboard shifting method for micro ATX boards. Just beware of this rear plastic thingy that you need to remove and position at the top or at the bottom, depending where you shifted your motherboard. Mine broke off. Out of everything on this case, this part feels the cheapest. It did not break completely, just a thing where you need to press it to remove that thing broke off. It still works though. Also, Lian Li now includes both horizontal and vertical GPU mounting options included with this case, complete with the anti-sag brackets for both options. The vertical mount even has a screw-based lift system, so you can fine-tune the GPU's position to your liking. The vertical bracket goes on top of the bottom fans, and it is really easy to use. So regarding the cable management, this is where this case shines. So you have the repositionable I/O panel, so either bottom or at the top. You have the adjustable 24-pin cable bracket that supports even the beefy streamer cables, and I use them of course here just to see if it is easy to build with them, and yep, it is actually. Even a large bottom grommet is present here to route the GPU cables cleanly between the chambers. So it goes in the front chamber and exits on the other chamber side, but it goes from below the case. It's a cool option. It's a genius move. You have the dual function hard drive or SSD cages with the swing out doors to hide the cables. This really feels weird and strange. Just look at them going flappy all around here. It's a cool option, but for my builds I completely removed them, so you can do the same and use just the Velcro straps that are present on the case. All cables can be hidden very well, so no worries there. There are also dedicated SSD mounts behind the cable bar for two 2.5-inch drives or for the fan or RGB hubs, and there are tons of Velcro straps and plastic clips for the EPS cables and actually all the cables here. Honestly, cable management here is almost too easy, borderline therapeutic process, much easier than on the version 1, if I may say so. All panels here are toolless, so you can remove the top and bottom brackets entirely to install fans or radiators outside of the case, then drop them back in. It feels like Lian Li took all these small annoyances from the V1 and just erased them. So, top tip here, if you are using HydroShift AIO, install the bracket outside of the case on the AIO and just drop it in later. It is a much easier to do this in that way. This was the only setback of the quick building process until I figured it out that it's easier this way. So for the temperatures here, I used the full ATX sized motherboard, Ryzen 7 9800X3D and RX 6900 XT. It's a beefy GPU, it all fits here without any hiccups. CPU held pretty nice, averaging around 41 degrees while on idle, around 56 while gaming on average, and maxing out at 73 degrees while being stress tested. GPU, on the other hand, was extremely well cooled thanks to the bottom slanted fans. These are reverse blade fans, by the way, and they kept it idle at only 30 degrees right now. So while gaming, it did not break a sweat, doing it around 54 degrees and reaching a mere 59 degrees while completely being maxed out. So who is the O11D Mini V2 for? Basically anyone who wants a compact case without sacrificing GPU cooling, GPU space, radiator support or PSU flexibility. So the inclusion of full ATX and back-connect support motherboards is awesome here, thoughtful cable routing and improved airflow. And all this makes it incredibly well-rounded for only $89.99 for the standard version without the fans or $99.99 for the flow versions, so you're getting high-end features in a compact footprint here. So whether you're going for the full custom loop or slapping in an AO just like I did here or doing a clean air-cooled setup, this case just delivers. So for the pros here, excellent airflow, especially for the GPU. It has full-size PSU and ATX board support in a compact footprint, of course, vertical and horizontal GPU brackets with anti-sag included for both options. It has outstanding cable management features, premium materials and seamless glass panels are used here, combining it all together in a nice package. It has ability to shift the front I/O panel from the front to the top of the case if needed, and it also has two covers that you can use to cover the gaps for side intake fans, so you can have them either up top or at the bottom, or one at the top and one on the bottom to cover that gaps where there are no fans, for better aesthetics and also for better airflow. So for the cons here, it doesn't have included fans in the base version, but $10 premium for the flow version makes it a no-brainer. It has some radiator clearance restrictions depending on the layout, so 280mm radiators, for example, have a slight issue here. The glass shows fingerprints, but which glass doesn't, so not a deal breaker, just wipe it off, don't touch it. And a flimsy rear I/O shield plastic that feels really cheap contrary to the rest of the case. And the other thing that I did not like were the non-removable mesh filters on the top and on the rear panel. I just wish that these were removable just for the sake of easier maintenance down the road. The O11 Mini V2 really feels like Lian Li went down a checklist of community feedback and said, alright, let's fix everything. And the result? A compact dual chamber case that now supports ATX power supplies, ATX boards and back-connect ATX motherboards as well. 360mm radiators without any hiccups and still somehow leaves you with room to breathe. Both thermally and visually, of course. The cooling is top tier for a case of this size, especially if you go for the flow version with those 5 reverse blade fans. GPU temperatures here are lower, airflow is smartly directed here, and build flexibility is miles ahead of most SFF or mid-size options out there. It also is great to see thoughtful extras like the toolless panels, but that's a common thing now. Repositionable I/O is also cool, anti-sag GPU brackets for both horizontal and vertical mounting, and a cable management setup that is honestly so easy that it just puts bigger cases to shame, as it also has a nice 24-pin cable holder that really matters, not just for aesthetic purposes, but actually to keep that cable in perfect place. Is it a perfect case? No, and it doesn't need to be. The base version doesn't include any fans, and you'll need to pay attention to radiator clearance depending on your board size. But these are just the minor trade-offs considering how much versatility and premium design you're getting for under $100. So yeah, the O11D Mini V2 might just be the new gold standard for compact dual chamber cases. So whether you are a first-time builder or a seasoned enthusiast looking for a new case, something clean, capable and space conscious, this thing checks all the boxes. So if you liked my review, drop a like, sub for more, or hit that dislike button, but make sure you do that twice if this wasn't your cup of tea. So you know how we do it here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.